Hi, Juni here. So the first episode of Marble Rising was just released on YouTube, and it came up on my recommended things to watch, and sure enough, I sure did. It's episode 1, so this is just like a very quick summary or review or reaction, whatever you want to call it. So I want to go over a little bit. One thing that really struck me so far is the animation. The art style is very anime-like, and they even address that within the show itself. But the animation is very fluid. It's not like the typical limited animation that you see in anime. Most times it's very much very fluid animation. The characters, at least in episode 1, is just Patriot, which I just learned about to this show, and Ghost Spider, which is Spider-Gwen. I don't know when they give her that name, and if it's just for the show. And they go into her backstory. It's a little bit different from the backstory in her comic. And they don't have like her backstory doesn't have Peter. It's a different character fulfilling the same role that Peter did within her comic book. But the end result is kind of the same. So it also have Squirrel Girl. It's right here, and it also has Macalacan and Agent Quake or Daisy from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And it's also voiced by the same actress, which is great. It's not like a crossover per se, it's more of a reference really. So what I thought about episode 1. Episode 1 was great because it just hits the ground running, and it keeps going and going and going. It's a very fast-paced show. It doesn't linger to tell a long-winded story. It stops for character development and to say what it needs to say about the story. But other than that, it's pretty much action. I love it, and it's especially cool because it's a very female-centric show, and it has like all these strong girls, and they're all different types, even different body types. So I think this is great, and I think this is the first time first or second time that Macalacan appears on animated form, and she's just as awesome as she is on her comics and on Champions. I hope that we get to see the other champions later on, either Ironheart or the Vision daughter. And yeah, Macalacan was great. She's just an awesome, great character. She's as fun as she is to read. She's a very fun character, very spunky, very just easy go lucky. And I didn't know much about Squirrel Girl. I didn't know much about her until this. I mean, she's just like a spunky, thick girl. So she's pretty much like that. That's her body type on the show also. I think it's great because not everybody has to be a certain body type, you know. So it's great as far as that. Even though I know this is a commercial cartoon, I mean, it's showing different body types, and that's just great. What I like the most about this show so far, it has to be Spider-Gwen. Gwen Stacy as Spider-Girl, or Spider-Woman, has become its own thing, and she's just a cool character. My first introduction to Spider-Man was actually the death of Gwen Stacy. Somebody had the book, and I had gone to check it out, and that was like the very first thing that I read. It was the issue where the Green Goblin knocks her off the bridge, and Peter tries to save her, and he cannot. And it was very traumatic, and it was very gripping. Like the comic book is so well written, and everything is so well storyboarded. So that was my first introduction to Spider-Man back in the 90s when I was living in Cuba. So it wasn't like I could go read the rest of it. That was pretty much all I had. And I saw two other issues. One about Spider-Man battling a pair of twins that were werewolves. I guess this is from the 80s. They look like Cyberwolf from the original Killer Instinct. And I also saw another one with Chameleon, but that was like a very slow issue. But yeah, ever since then I've been obsessed with Gwen Stacy and her story. And even though I love Mary Jane too, Gwen Stacy was always my girl. Like even though I know she had been dead forever. And then when she got revived on this like alternate story, alternate timeline, she gets revived and she comes back as Spider-Woman, and she's now on this show. So that's the reason that I'm gonna be watching the show for Spider-Man. And yeah. So yeah, this show, as far as episode 1 goes, I definitely highly recommend it. It has great animation, really cool characters. It's a fun, action-packed story. We haven't seen like action cartoons like this in a while, and everything is going to like more bubbly, more cartoony, fun, just comedy shows. This is not like that. It's a little more serious, and it does hit the same beats of the Spider-Man story. As tragic as that is, it gets there, and it doesn't give you so far like everybody's origins. It's just they are who they are, and they're going. So I highly recommend it. Again, the link is gonna be in the description. And if you're new around here, please check out the rest of my videos. I mostly do art stuff on my Cintiq over here, and hopefully you get to learn some art tricks that I give you. I mean, I'm still learning myself, although I am a professional. I recently graduated. Where is it? So here. Recently graduated, Bachelor in Science and Media Arts and Animation. And so I'm doing this YouTube as a side thing. Hopefully, eventually it will become like a part-time. And until then, we're just making YouTube for fun. As you can see, this is not for the show. This is mine, and I'm just using it as background because it makes sense to do so. But yeah, and if you like my stuff, my content, do share with your friends and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that little bell button so it can let you know when I put up new videos. And I look forward to seeing the rest of these episodes. And if you haven't seen it, check it out. Link down here, as well as my social media links are also here. So if you want to connect and say hello or just follow my nonsense. Very active mostly on Instagram and Facebook, and here I just put the videos. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for checking the video out. Go check out the show. Bye.